Welcome back to Coffee and Pedals, episode 2.
Bam!
Jonathan Lindsay here.
Josh Theobald here.
Thanks so much for tuning in. We're excited. Yeah, as we said, episode 2. If you haven't already seen episode 1, make sure you do. It was highly critically acclaimed. And you can follow the link, I think, here? Or here? Or down there? Somewhere. If you haven't watched it, check it out, because it's cool. But we're still here. We haven't been canceled yet, so that's awesome.
Not canceled.
Not canceled.
I expected the ratings to plummet after that first episode, but...
they plummeted a little bit.
A little bit.
But they're on the way back up.
When it's your only episode, the only place to go is up. So, you know.
So we're back. For this episode, we thought we would revolutionize the pedal demo world by looking at tube screamers.
I'm not really going to scream. That would peak the microphones. But yeah, we got a selection of 3 green to green-ish pedals going on here. We're pretty excited to try some of these. One of these you're going to be very familiar with. A lot of you guys are going to be very familiar with another one. And then a newcomer, at least to me, this guy.
Yep.
Is it new? I mean...
It's relatively new, yeah. I mean, especially compared to the tube screamer.
Of course.
An interesting thing, too. So with the tube screamers, I have to admit, I've never owned a tube screamer. Have you ever owned one?
No, not really.
I mean, it's the most famous guitar pedal out there. It's the most copied guitar pedal.
Yeah.
It's the most modified guitar pedal. But I've never had one. I've honestly never bonded with one either. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there like me that maybe are not quite the tube screamer type.
Yeah.
So we have tonight the tube screamer right here.
Ta-da, classic.
But we
808.
also have 2 other kind of tube screamer bass pedals for people that maybe don't necessarily like the classic tube screamer. They're like tube screamers that don't really sound quite like tube screamers.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
Does it make sense?
No, which is the fun part, because they sound so greatly different from each other. One of these even has like 3 voicings on it, and I mean, you could all maybe argue that maybe they're based off of some other circuit of the tube screamer, but none of them to me sound like exactly like the 808.
It's surprising how different they sound.
Yeah. I am blown away. I am shocked. And I'm excited to try some of these out.
I would say we should probably start with the tube screamer.
I would. You scream, I scream. We all. Forget it.
So we got the 808 here,
Yeah.
Ibanez. Let's turn it on with this big button. I gotta say, before we even get going, I hate this button. I mean, I think a lot of people don't like this button.
No.
But it's like a big, square, difficult to push down thing.
It's weird.
And I've tried hitting it numerous times so far and it hasn't even turned on. But
It's not meant for the fingers. I feel like if you have steel-toed boots or something like that, you're working construction, maybe it's your vibe. And it is a good sounding pedal. Don't get us wrong. We're not here to put down pedals or anything like that.
Just
but
buttons.
It's
Just buttons.
The buttons.
We don't like buttons.
I gotta say, like, update the design. I know this is classic. This came out in like the 70s or something. I don't know.
The internet will tell us. It was like late 70s, I think.
You're already on
78,
YouTube.
79.
You can go to Google.
All right. Clean tone. We're in the Rev G20 this time. A little bit of reverb in the loop because we love reverb.
Yeah.
And let's check out. So this is a tube screamer in basically neutral, noon tone, noon overdrive, and the level is very different between these. So we've set them up to be kind of similar right now, and the level is about, I can't quite see them. What, 1 o'clock?
The upstairs camera can see it down there.
We'll go up to the like when they view the
Yeah.
penalties and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They'll view it up there. Anyways, I think it's about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's do it. The kind of tone that just makes you want to play riffs like that. It's the classic rock tone.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's classic.
do you want me to like crank up the overdrive and just like see how gritty this thing can really get?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's do it.
sure, let's go. This is gonna go all. beautiful.
Woo.
It's giving AC/DC, you know? Like, it's, if that were louder, and if you're playing an SG.
Yeah. It's chunky. It's pretty, like, I don't know, like, kind of squashed sounding, it seems, and it's very, like, it's here.
Yeah.
It's like those, the mid-hump that everybody talks about. There's not, like, deep bottom end.
No.
Because I think the clean tone was actually much boomier
Yeah.
in the bottom. But there's loads of mids, and as that gain knob went up, it was kind of compressing, getting smooth, and very nice to play riffs and stuff like that. Very friendly feeling.
Absolutely.
Definitely comfortable. Today we're going to focus just on clean amp sound with the tone of the pedals. A lot of people use these for more of a boost with the gain all the way down, boosting the amp, especially if it's an amp that's already breaking up, like a Marshall or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Wanna
Smack. Let's do that.
smack it. But today we're going to go for more the tone of the pedals.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do they do all
So
around?
that's with the humbuckers. We've traded places this time.
I'm playing myself a Telecaster.
You got the single coils. This time I got the humbuckers. So let's check out those those little singles.
Switch me over, Captain.
There we go.
All right, cool.
Player
Let's
2
frickin-
engaged.
Are we freaking on there? Yes, we are.
Cool.
So
Do me a favor.
Yeah, what's up?
Play that same chord without the pedal.
Okay, big old E major here. That sucked. Now, one thing to know, I'm digging them like crazy with that because it's like what I like to do. Sorry.
I find it really interesting with this pedal on.
Yeah.
The top end is just like gone.
They chop it off.
Like, because that's pretty bright sounding,
It's a
spanky. And then with
Telecaster.
it. So, let's bring that tone up.
Mm-hmm.
See if we can get the treble back.
It gets there. It's starting to tickle the edge of my hearing at this point. That's okay. That's starting to get to a place where I like it.
That's max tone.
Max tone. On a
Completely maxed
Telecaster, guys.
Which is very buzzy and noisy.
It's a little bit, yeah.
All right, cool. Why don't we contrast that now? Let's go from the Tube Screamer over, let's go to the Plumes.
Go Plumes.
The Plumes Tube Screamer based. This is from Earthquaker Devices, by the way.
Love these guys.
Let's hear how that contrasts.
Let's do that big E chord again. Right out of the gate, I'm liking that. Okay. Okay.
So, right off the bat, two very interesting things. One is how much brighter this pedal is.
Much
Because look where
brighter.
the tone knob is.
Yeah.
The tone's the middle one. It's just in the middle.
Exactly.
So the middle knob is in the middle on
Don't
this
make
one.
it work for that.
Whereas on the Tube Screamer, we had the middle knob basically cranked to get into that kind of territory. So if the Tube Screamer is too dark for you, the Plumes might be the pedal for you because it's way brighter. The other thing I noticed,
I think I know
is-
what we're getting at here.
the volume difference.
Yeah.
So the level we had on the Tube Screamer was, what clock was it? 1 o'clock?
Like, yeah, 1 o'clock-ish.
1 o'clock-ish?
You know, just past the hour.
Just
really.
past 1.
Yeah.
Whereas on the Plumes, the level is, way down at like 9 o'clock.
This is early in the morning for me.
It is early.
It's
That's-
actually late at, well, no, it's the evening when we're recording this show. the metaphor persists. Are we pretending it? Anyway.
But yeah, like look how much louder this pedal is.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys.
And it's known for being loud, but if you need a lot more boost or a lot more of anything, the Plumes is definitely a much louder pedal than the Tube Screamer by like a long shot.
A freaking lot. I will say this as well, like Earthquaker devices, they don't do quiet. Like I actually own like a lot of their pedals. And every single one of them just like blows the freaking roof off the jam room. You got to be pretty careful with those. I don't think I've ever turned one up all the way just because it is not necessary.
Yeah, loads of headroom. So that's pretty cool. And then we've also got three different modes on this one. So we're in mode 1 right now.
3 modes.
Which seem to be the most similar across the board. If we go into mode 2, it opens it up a whole lot. It's like much more headroom, much cleaner. It's much louder. Just to show that.
Yeah, man.
So that mode, it's like more...
It's almost like a boost.
Yeah, it's more boosty. It's more open. Definitely a little more touch sensitive too. A little more transparent and all that sort of stuff. So that's cool. Let me
Yeah, you give it a shot.
hit that with the humbuckers here. Let's see.
Give some clean first for contrast, I guess.
Okay. Clean. Flip it back to number 1.
Oh, yeah. And go.
So definitely much gainier and lower output. And I think if we go to 3, it's even more of that.
Which is always fun.
Huh.
That's just lovely. It's given a little bit of a, like, I don't know, I'm getting a little like ZZ Top, like early, like Tres Hombres kind of era.
Yeah, totally.
Out of that.
Is it gainier than 1?
Let's try. Okay, so like there's a volume difference again. No! Here, take mine. Oh, okay.
That's pretty aggressive.
I like that.
I gotta say, I don't think the Tube Screamer was getting into that kind of territory.
No, we drove that thing as fast as it would go, and it screamed. It'll scream your tubes, and I think, again, that is the purpose of the Tube Screamer.
Your volume is up.
Jesus! The purpose of the Tube Screamer is to take your tubes that are already hot and then make them scream. This will take a solid state amp and like make it sound like an overdriven amp, you know?
Let's hear it with the single coils.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, give me some something. I like it.
It's like pure rock and roll.
That is what my idea of rock and roll is.
Well, that's pretty cool. So we heard the Tube Screamer, we've heard the Plumes. Let's head over to the Browne Amplification Gritador,
The Gritador.
which is another modified Tube Screamer circuit. I was watching the Andertons video with Browne Amplification a little while back, where they went through a bunch of the pedals, and it was interesting. They're describing this as like the Tube Screamer for people that don't want a Tube Screamer,
Really?
like we were talking about earlier. Like
Yes.
it's taking the Tube Screamer thing, but it's kind of like the mids are pulled down a little bit.
Yeah.
The top end is a little more compressed and it's a little smoother and stuff like that.
Boosts.
And I plugged into it just for the first time yesterday, and I gotta say, I was like, this is a very nice pedal. It sounded quite different than what my idea of a Tube Screamer was, but I thought it was pretty awesome. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Check one.
Listen how polite it is.
It's so nice. What a gentleman.
The sustain. It's
Yes.
just got this like creamy sustain that just keeps going. And the harmonics, there's these upper harmonics as the gain goes up, which will of course do. They get really nice. I was like, it's such a pleasing pedal to try. Here, check it
Yeah,
out.
let's give it a shot. Yeah, I'm a Gritador virgin here. I haven't had no opportunity to do anything with the sustain, though. This is nice.
It just keeps going.
A little vibrato helps things along for sure, bro.
There you go.
Okay, I'm seeing why people are liking this thing. Yeah.
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
It's very different than the first two. It's more like creamy and soft and sustainy and all that.
But you can really take it to the walls, like, but not too much, you know? And I love Earthquaker, as I've stated, but I do get a little, like, I like a 3-knob pedal. I just like
Well,
go.
the Plumes is technically
It
a
is
3-knob
three
pedal,
knobs.
but there's a switch.
You could argue it's 9 knobs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a bad argument.
You
but
could, but you'd lose that argument.
I would. I know when I'm licked.
It's interesting. The Plumes out of the three is definitely the more like aggressive and brighter and harder rockin' one. The Gritador takes like this Tube Screamer thing and kind of smooths it and massages it and makes it really sexy somehow.
Modernizes it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, the Tube Screamer itself also sounds really good.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Yes. I feel like in another context, again, with like a slightly more overdriven amp, adding that to it, it's just going to push it. It pushes it over the edge. Yeah.
I feel like if I wanted to boost an amp, I think the Tube Screamer would be great for boosting.
Yes.
I think the Plumes would also be great for boosting. The Gritador, I just kind of like it as it is.
That's like an on all the time pedal.
Well, if you want like an overdriven tone all the time.
Which I do.
I mean, who doesn't?
Jazz schmazz.
But yeah, it's just got that thing. Am I?
Do it, yeah. Bask in the glory. That's. Well, I was gonna ask like if you had to pick a favorite, but
That's a very nice pedal. Wow, this has been a very interesting exercise.
yes, interesting and informative. Yes.
That's what we're here for, really. Consumer advice at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Wow, 3 different takes on a classic. Well, one of them is the classic.
Sure.
Oh, thank you.
Get a little grunt on there.
Different horses for courses, different strokes.
Right.
I don't know. They're all like
Wow.
different variations on green and quite cool in their own way. Now let us know in the comments below what your favorite was and maybe why, because that could be cool too.
That would actually be good and
Why it's your
informative
favorite.
for
Don't
the
just
other
tell us
commenters.
which is your favorite. Tell us why it's your favorite.
Yeah.
And if
Show
you
your
haven't
work.
if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, one closing comment, though this one I do agree with you that it probably sounds the nicest. It's the color I'm the least attracted to.
It's like avocado green.
Like day-old avocado
Yeah.
This is always going to look good. That is pleasing the eye, even on a dark stage. You're gonna know where that thing is.
Except for that button.
that freaking button.
Damn button.
It's too bad they don't make other versions of it.
They do. For the record. But that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's our first little roundup on the Tube Screamer pedals.
Yep.
I think we've got a long ways to go and a short time to get there, so we should leave it at that.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching episode 2 of Coffee and Pedals here on Tapestry TV. And for Josh and myself, have yourself a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever it is, and tune in next time.
Adieu.
Woo! Good night, folks.